feel like I look really tall today.
You do.
I haven't
Did
done
you grow?
anything different. No, maybe it's because you got a desk, so you're
Do I look
now?
taller? Maybe.
No, you
I
look
think
shorter. Like our
Oh.
proportions. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, you know what? Yeah, they are because the desk is lower than the dresser. I was putting the laptop on a dresser since I'm in the closet, and now it's actually at desk height. And so, yeah, I am definitely like lower on the screen.
okay. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you?
I am doing good. I haven't talked to you for a whole day. We didn't talk much yesterday because
I know.
we were both busy.
I have no idea what you were doing yesterday.
It was a day. It was a day.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about some of it on the podcast, or do you want to keep that for...
No, I've been waiting to tell you this story literally so that I could tell you on this podcast. So,
okay, all right.
Because I think it's going to tie in perfectly with what we're going to be discussing today. So,
okay, I'm ready.
Here's my short story. So yesterday, just hanging out here at the house with my stepdaughter, and I got a text from my aunt. She was like, "Hey, I found this puppy and I need help finding the owner. Are you available?" And I was like, "Heck yes, I am." And she's like, "It's a pug puppy. She's super cute and friendly." And I was like, this is exactly the kind of mission I want to be on today. So yes. I am on my way. I'll be there in 2 minutes. She lives 1 mile down the road.
Uh-huh.
So I get to her house. The cutest puppy ever. She's like so cute and friendly. And I was like, sit. And she just sat down. And I was like, oh my God, if we don't find the owner of this dog, I might have a new dog because it's so cute. But
it's so cute.
We were going to go find the owner. So we get into my aunt's car and we're driving around. We drive to this first house because she's like, I feel like it's over here. So we go over there. Wasn't over there. We're driving back and there's a car coming out with this like 70-ish-year-old man driving. And so we pull up next to him, like, hey, are you missing a dog? And he's like, no. What kind of dog? I'm like, well, if you're not missing one or whatever, but okay.
Yeah, why are you asking?
Like, yeah. It's a pug. And I'm like holding the pug and he's like, no, that's a bulldog. And I was like, no, it isn't. It's a pug. Like I literally own an English bulldog and a French bulldog. This is a pug. I've also owned a pug before. They're not the same dog. It's very clearly a pug. And so he's like, well, what are you trying to do with it? And we're like, well, we're trying to find its owners. And he said,
he is suddenly very invested in this pug.
Listen to what he says to us next. Did you look to see if it's got a tag? I was like, obviously, if we had a tag, we wouldn't be talking to you. Like, we would have found the owner already. And he was like, oh, I'm not trying to be stupid. What are you guys? There's some people down the road that have a bunch of bulldogs. If you take it down there, I'm sure they'll be happy to take it. And we're like, we're trying to find we're not trying to find a home for this dog. We're trying to find the dog's home. Like, I'm like, if I had been driving, I would have already been like down the road.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this guy. You're not listening.
Gosh.
You're not providing useful content in this conversation. Like I am not the owner and I don't know anyone that owns a pug. Good luck. That's all I needed to know. I'm
just like
annoyed.
I don't know. His curiosity took over, I guess. Like, who is this dog? Did you try
looking for its tag? The second he questioned our intelligence, essentially, is what I'm taking. Yeah. It's like, you mean look at the dog tag to see the owner's information? Yeah, that would have been really fucking helpful if he had a tag. Anyway, at this point, I was over this guy.
You are a woman, okay? You have very
it's a
little.
Car full of women, so we're clearly idiots.
You were clearly needing some help with just some logics, some male direction.
One of my biggest pet peeves, and honestly, like the more I think about it, it's not even a reflection because I take it very personally. I'm like, they think I'm
Mhm.
fucking stupid. But
Yeah.
really, it is that they are stupid. So
Right.
they're going to suggest the most simplest fucking solution as if I hadn't already considered that before I'm coming to you for help. Right?
Right.
That
Right.
is one of my biggest triggers in life. So,
I know we've
um
we've actually talked about that, I think, on one of our early episodes about how somebody asking you just like a very obvious question, like, your
sends
plant's
me
dying,
through the
and they ask,
roof.
have you watered
Have
your
you
dying
watered it?
plant?
It's like, oh my god.
I honestly feel like it just feels like a waste of my time. And I do take offense to my time being wasted. Like, don't waste my time with dumb questions. I'm on a side quest right now. I am trying to trying to help this dog be reunited. You're wasting my time. I gotta go
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. And recommending a new place for this dog to go live when we just told you we're
Giving
trying to
it
find
to
its
some.
owners was like, and then
Just
the
go
people
ahead
that
on
were asking,
drop it on down the
yeah.
road.
So we got to meet a lot of nice neighbors, right? But you would ask them like, "Hi, are you missing a dog?" And they're like, "No." What kind of dog is it? And we're like, "It's a pug." And then they're
What?
like, "Oh, yeah, no, we're not missing it." And it's like, "Why are you fucking asking?"
Why are we asking that? I
Also,
feel like
I just
it's.
want to caveat, if it was me, I
Mm-hmm.
would have said, "I found a pug puppy. Do you own it or know someone who does?" Like, I would have just given a fuller sentence of
Given the
information
information.
to just get it all out there right at the beginning. "Hi, I'm looking for the
Yeah.
home for this puppy. Have you ever seen this dog before? Do you know where it lives? Here or anywhere
Right.
else?" Like, just stop.
Yeah, maybe that's
Ugh.
why they were asking, because they were more like, I'm not missing a dog, but maybe they know somebody who has a dog that
Yeah,
could match the
exactly.
description of the dog,
I was
right?
less annoyed by the "no, what kind of dog is it" than I was with the "oh no," and then
Checking
their
the dog
responses
tags.
to it, which is like, "Oh yeah, we only have big dogs." Like, okay, well if you're already not missing one, what's the wow? We have a Great Dane. Cool.
Oh,
Okay, bye.
man.
Like, what are we
So
doing?
the most important part of this story, though, is did you end up finding
We
the
did.
actual. Okay.
We did. The dog's name is Bailey. She apparently
Oh,
escapes quite a bit, so I assume we will see
so
her again
cute.
sometime. Yeah.
I love that.
Her owners were just right down the road, so we did
Oh,
successfully
nice.
make it there.
Well, that's a fun side quest.
Yeah, it was.
I love that. I
So,
love it.
anyway, I thought it was just a really good story to kind of highlight how all of us are different and we all have our different strengths. And common sense is something I feel like I'm pretty good at. And so when people ask me the dumbest questions in the world, I'm always like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck?
Yeah. But I think the difficulty is like I don't know if you're going to interpret a question I ask you as being dumb.
So
So
with
then
you,
like
I don't.
right?
There's
But
a
like how do
difference
I
though.
know? Okay, yeah, so
Yeah,
help
yeah.
me.
I
Yeah.
know you already.
Okay. Yeah.
And you know me. So you already know what level I'm operating at. So at this point,
Yeah.
any dumb question you ask me is a reflection of you. These strangers, I'm like, what the fuck?
But why isn't that the automatic
I know.
response to
Look,
the stranger?
it doesn't make any sense. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm also going to caveat it and say, even if someone knows me and they ask me a question that I feel is questioning my intelligence, I'm
Yeah.
just pissed. That's definitely an area that I need to work on.
Oh, I think I know. Like, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna take a guess.
Okay,
Tell me
go.
if I'm wrong, okay? I think it's because I don't think you're dumb. Like,
Oh yeah,
we're
there
already
you
starting
go.
with a baseline of we have a secure relationship. I don't believe you're dumb. So if I'm asking something, it's because I'm clearly dumb. Like it.
Listen, I know you're not dumb either. I feel like, honestly, if you ask me a question, I'm like, this is her curiosity game that she learned to play as a therapist to build a deeper connection. So if she's asking this of me, it's because she is practicing her communication skills.
Every single time I talk to you, I feel like it's just taking me deeper down an existential rabbit hole. Because now I'm like, wait, are there times when I ask questions and she's just like appeasing me because you're just like, oh, this is just her trying to connect with me.
Is that not the point of relationship? Would it be blowing you off would not be a good friend, right?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have to think of. I feel like again. See, I'm having an existential crisis now, and I feel like
about it. Let me know how it feels.
I'm gonna
we can circle back.
I'm gonna think about it.
It's not every time. How about this?
Okay.
I'll give you next time you ask me something that triggers that in me. I'll tell you. I'll do some kind of signal to you. Okay.
That'll be super helpful. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be. Because I feel like we're gonna work through this. I feel like what that sounds like is I am being perceived as performing connection versus I'm engaging us in something that I think will lead to connection, but it's not authentic or something like.
That's
it's not being
feels
perceived
like to me.
as authentic?
No.
Okay.
No. It's like this, okay? Have you ever talked to someone that goes to church?
Yes.
And you're like, hey, my grandma's dying. What is the first thing they say to you?
Yeah, it's all in God's plan.
I'll keep your grandma in my prayer.
For you.
Sorry.
God works
it's a trained
in mysterious
response.
Ways.
I think because because I have known you for 15 years and I've watched your evolution, I get to see your new trained responses starting to come in. It's just new habit forming.
That makes sense.
So
that actually helps me understand what you're saying much better.
It's just like a new default that we've learned through training and becoming better people. So I think we all do that, and it's definitely not a negative. It's just more of I tend to think if you're asking me something that makes me feel some kind of way, because I'm the one really being triggered. It has nothing to do with you. It's my own insecurity of like, they think I'm stupid. Obviously, I already thought of that, right? Because it's my own ego being like, she fucking hates you. She thinks you're stupid and she doesn't want to be your friend anymore.
So let's talk, like, as a therapist, I do struggle with that. Like, I don't struggle with it. People probably around me struggle with it. It's not my struggle. But I have been trained to ask for clarity instead of assuming that I am understanding correctly. So sometimes I will ask for clarity about like, well, what does that mean to you, or words, or, whatever. Or I might say something and then it's interpreted not how I intended it to be. And then I'm like, wait, no, that's actually, explain to me what you heard and what you meant. And sometimes that can be received as combative, right? Or like, I'm trying to be difficult. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be difficult. Like, I'm confused. I don't know what this means.
Here, I'm going to send you a really fun example of something that you just said to me recently. And I was like, therapist, it's therapist, April.
Okay. I'm excited. We can read it.
We're not going to go through the whole text conversation because that is not relevant and it's not public information. But I'm just going to read you like the last sentence of your. Why do we text so much? Good Lord. Okay. This was on a day I was driving to work, and you were like, thanks for explaining that to me. Hold on. It was perfect.
Oh, now I understand your position much better. I do know what you're talking about.
I was like,
like, oh yeah, this actually helps me understand you better. Gives me more clarity. I did, yeah. You said something because I know what
I
it
was
was.
just
I'm not
explaining
gonna.
something. Yeah. I was just
You
reiterating
explained.
something.
It was you. You explained something, and then I responded with. So if I'm understanding you correctly, it means this. This is what you're saying,
Yes.
and then right after that, I said, "Oh, this actually helps me understand your experience a lot better. I did not interpret it that way the first time," or something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what was your response to that? To me
It
sending that
made me
text?
laugh. I was like, oh, April and her connection communication. I guess. It was just cute. It was just cute. It made me smile and laugh while I was driving. I was like,
Gotcha.
no need to respond to this. It's just
No need. Yeah. Did you feel understood though? That's the most important. Did you feel like I really understood what you were trying to say?
Yeah. Otherwise,
Or
I would have
am
been
I
like,
just
what the hell?
okay? Am I insufferable though? Is this now?
No, you're not.
I need to know because like
Listen,
you're the friend who would tell me. Other people wouldn't tell me, right?
Quickest exiter of relationships
Yeah.
with people that make me feel uncomfortable.
Not this one.
I would have left a long time ago. It's been a slow burn for us, you know? It's like you played the long game for me.
I did.
Yeah. So,
oh man,
perfect.
I love
I think this is a great.
It is a great segue into what we're going to talk. We're going to talk about today.
Tell the people.
We will tell the people. So everybody knows I'm doing this cohort, meeting weekly, really focusing on this reflective function process. And just to remind everybody, like reflective function is really the capacity to kind of evaluate all of the paradoxes that happen in you and other people, being able to see them, be aware of them. And so it takes practice. And so one of the things that we had to do for this was to take a personality assessment. And the personality assessment that we did is called the Big Five. So the Big Five is, we remember it as in the acronym OCEAN. So it's openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. And so it's called the 5-factor model. It's one of the best, kind of most validated measures in psychology. Lots of research on it. And so it breaks down your personality into, so neuroticism is broken into anxiety, angry hostility, depression, self-consciousness, impulsiveness. Extroversions broken down into warmth, gregariousness, assertiveness, activity, excitement seeking, positive emotions. So each section has kind of these little sub areas of personality, and then you're measured on them. So Misty took one, I took one, we had our partners take one, and so we thought it would be really fun today to talk about our results, talk about what we think about our results, and yeah. So how'd I do, Misty?
I think you did great.
Okay.
I was like, do I need to pull mine up? I also took a picture of us recording the podcast so I can put it on social because I think it'll be fun. I was looking at this little window and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to take a picture of this. Okay.
Do we look so cute?
Adorable. I smiled because I knew the picture was coming. You were talking, so I was probably like that.
Okay, perfect. I love it. It's good. It's gonna keep me humble.
So something that I really liked about this test, so I want to talk about my experience first.
Yeah, I want to hear what your experience was like.
Taking this test, I was like, oh, I see what they're trying to do here. Like, I was having a really hard time because the instructions April gave me was, don't think about it, just go with your first, just commit.
Yeah. Your gut. Yeah.
And so I would be like, I would read the question and immediately be like, interesting. Why are we asking this question? And then I was like, nope. We're just going to click it. We're going to click it. We're going to click it. I actually screenshotted one of the questions because I was just like, interesting. I'm such a
Okay, so the questions are basically kind of like phrases, and then you decide between like strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. And
yeah.
so,
Oh, I can't
yeah,
find the
Misty can tell
screenshots of
you
it. I literally just had it
the
up and then
one.
I closed it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out like how to answer these questions truthfully because some of them are hard, right? Like you have to really be honest with yourself. And
You got to be honest. Yeah, no,
one of
it's
the ones
true
that I
because
was
it's
like, but then at the end of the test, I was like having my own existential because I'm like, great. Now I'm, you know, realizing a lot of things about myself that I knew that I've been
Mhm.
pretending I forgot so that I don't have to deal with it.
Isn't it funny how we do that to ourselves? We're like, "Oh
No,
no,
I
I've
hated it.
I've
I was
dealt
like,
I've dealt with
I
this
hate it
already because I'm
here. Okay,
So
so one
some
of
of the
the
examples.
questions,
Did you
one of the questions was
go
about,
ahead?
I often, it was like you often manipulate others into doing some shit for you or something like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's like literally my, like fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. I will fawn
Hmm.
to get the outcome that I need, like for self-preservation. I don't feel like I like
Right.
maliciously do that to people, but I did have to answer it in a way that I was like, ugh. Okay, I found the question.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a liar. Don't even listen to me. It's making me really mad. I had the question I took a picture of and sent to you was the I don't mind bragging about my talents or accomplishments.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that one too.
Yeah, I was like, ew, gross. Oh, this says at times I bully or flatter people into doing what I want them to. And I had to put agree on that
Hmm.
because I was like, I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And that
And
makes
then
me
what?
feel
And then
really gross.
yeah. Yeah. So I think that's actually brings up a really important piece of this personality assessment is it reflects your personality at the level you're willing to be honest with yourself, right? So it's a self evaluation. So if you took the test based on me, like if you were like I'm going to answer these based on how I know April, and I take one that's I'm going to answer this based on how I know Misty, the categories might come back very differently. Like you might rate yourself as like low in warmth, right? Like somebody who's warm. I might rate you as your friend as somebody who's high in warmth, right? So we have a different perception of your personality traits. And so I think that actually is really important because sometimes that reflects like how disconnected we are from our sense of self. And that can be revealing in the personality assessment,
But
right?
you agree that I sometimes bully or flatter people into doing what
Yeah,
I
for
want them to
sure. Yeah,
do.
and you
Yeah.
were honest. Yeah, you have good self awareness, but not everybody not everybody does, right? One of the things that was really interesting was like some people, for example, um, might rate themselves as like very high in depression, self consciousness, all of these kind of like neurotic areas. But then somebody who is experiencing them would rate them as low because they're not like expressing any of those things. It's all like internal, right? So that's
Yeah.
also really interesting to think about as well.
I was actually surprised I didn't score higher on depression. That was one of my results where I was like, oh, I thought I was going to be
Yeah.
like very high in depression,
And
but
depression.
apparently I'm average, which I feel
Okay.
so bad for the high depression people then because this shit is for real.
It's touch and go on the regular.
Oh my God.
Okay, do you want to tell our listeners what your scores were for those domains, those main
Yeah,
domains?
I have to try to
And
read it on this very small screen, so I will do my best.
okay, okay,
I'm going to turn it sideways. Sorry if you guys have
all
to
right,
see my
yeah,
phone in here.
yeah.
Okay, so
Then you And then you can read through like any of the ones that, like the smaller ones you were surprised about. And just kind
so
of
let
any
me
thoughts
just
you
show,
had.
I'm going to do this very okay. So the results come up in this like table. Okay. So you got to be able to see the table, just letting people know what it looks like.
Yeah.
So the first part is really just like your summary.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yep.
light is really bad, but okay, you can kind of see it. So for the summary, I scored average in neuroticism, extraversion, and agreeableness. I scored high in openness and very high in conscientiousness. I'm not super surprised by any of this. Like I have always said, like I don't feel like I'm an introvert or an extrovert. I feel like I am like a neutral person in that because it's very dependent upon the scenario. What are we doing? You know,
Yeah.
people do energize me, but certain people
Right.
also drain me. So it's like,
yeah. So let's look at that first one, extroversion, the one where you say you're kind of an ambivert, right? Like kind of depends on the group, depends on the person. So extroversion has these different categories. So the first one is warmth, and you scored high in warmth, which I would agree with. You're very easy to talk to. I think anybody who gets to be around you would agree with that you are a warm person. You don't come off as cold or distancing. Gregariousness, right? So just like that, you rated high in that one as well. So
and gregariousness, I got average.
Oh, did you average? Okay.
Yeah, average.
See, I can't see. Maybe I need my
maybe you needed
my glasses. Yeah. Okay. So the other one, yeah. So I'm just trying to look at the ones you rated high in extroversion. The other one was assertiveness, which I would say assertiveness is probably related also to your high conscientiousness. Like you just want to get things done correctly, so it makes you more assertive. That's what I would take a guess at.
I've been called assertive a lot at work, specifically by male leaders.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I'm surprised they didn't call you bossy, because that's usually what women are called.
Someone said to me, I appreciate your tenacity, which I took as a compliment. I was like, you're welcome.
Yeah, I feel like that's a compliment. Yeah. a lot of people will call assertive women bossy to try to shame them into being submissive, right? Because the cultural narrative is you should be soft and blah blah blah. Like, no, absolutely not. Extroversion, you rated very high in activity.
Surprise.
We were just having a conversation about this 2 weeks ago, maybe, about how your nervous system prefers movement, that stillness isn't something that feels good to you. And so that tracks the very high activity. Yeah. And then what else did you? Positive emotions. You rated high in positive emotions. So I would say you're more on the extroverted side than on the introverted side.
Here's what scored me low: my gregariousness and my excitement seeking.
Yeah. So tell me, what do you think about the excitement seeking part of it?
I totally get it though, because here's the thing. I feel like those questions were like, I enjoy situations that stress me out and jumping off cliff, base jumping. Like, I feel like the questions in that category were probably things I'm definitely not drawn to. I also have a lot of comfort in my routine. So I think some of that might have played into that as well. Like for my ADHD and my emotional balance, I need some kind of a routine. So spontaneity, we've talked about that on the podcast too. Book your hotels in advance, people. Like, it sounded like it was going to be exciting and it backfired. So I think some of that was just like, I don't want the hassle of spontaneity so much. And I don't need excitement to be in a good mood. Like, I feel like I'm pretty, like, I find joy in simple things. Like, I was doing some yard work and that's the highlight of my day. So
Yeah. So I was actually going to say the lower excitement seeking makes sense with the high conscientiousness. Because I think excitement seeking is a little more like impulsivity. I think it's you're not going to be very impulsive if you have like high there. That's impulsivity is not going to be a thing really if you're as
Yeah.
high conscientiousness as you are, right?
Do you
So
remember
that
when
makes
I
sense
thought
that
I
that would
was
balance out.
impulsive and I was like, I just am trying not to make impulsive decisions? And you were like, get your
So
fucking spread. Show me the spreadsheet you already made for this.
that was like the craziest self delusion that you've probably ever
That's
communicated to me. I'm like,
fear of bipolar.
oh,
Like, that's literally my fear of having a mental health issue.
yeah.
I'm like,
But sometimes it's like fascinating how much we can delude ourselves, even though the reality is in front of us, right? Where
yeah.
it's like we need people to tell us the truth because we really just don't see it sometimes for ourselves. Like the other day, let me give an example. I think it was
Okay.
yesterday. So I decided I'm going to be working on a book, and I text Misty and I said, "Hey, do you want to go on this journey with me? Like, and I will send you paragraphs and like send you stuff along the journey, and you can give me feedback and things like that. Or do you want to wait until the end when like the book is done, and then you can just read it as a whole all the way through?" And Misty texted me back and was like, I'm already on this journey with you. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, but do you want to wait for the book or do you want like to get the information? And then this bee responded with, do you think you cannot send me? Like, do you think that you're not?
There's
Do you think
not
you'll be able
a
to?
world where you're not fucking sending me that shit for feedback. Like, it's not happening.
I know. But in my mind, I was like, no, I'm going to give her the opportunity
I'm gonna
to tell me if she
no.
wants to wait, so I'm not like bombarding you with all this stuff every week, all this stuff to read, or
Oh, I do want to just add a
I'll send it
note.
to at the end.
If there's an
Yeah,
expectation of me doing something, like share to your heart's
yeah,
desire, but if you're like, I need these
right.
edits back by 4 p.m. on Friday, I'm out.
No,
Like, don't.
I mean, well, I'm not going to be treating you as an editor
That's
for
great.
sure.
Okay,
So
yeah, I'm just
yeah,
letting you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
I will, if something sounds crazy, I'll let
yeah.
you know. But I try.
Okay,
You're a
perfect.
beautiful
Well,
writer, so I have no doubt what you're going to be sending me is going to be
yeah.
like poetic in a way where I will probably be crying at class. Like I'll have to make sure I have time to like really sit and read it. So
And read
it's going to
it.
be great. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
So she basically called me out, right? Like, you really think you're not going to be able to send me stuff? Like, really? And I was like, the audacity. Like, I feel some kind of way
Yeah,
that I am being called out. Like, you're right. Like, I really am gonna have to send it to you. I would struggle internally with not
yeah.
sending it. It would
And
create
I'm
just
going to work
some
on my
kind of,
impulsiveness.
yeah. Okay, so anyway, that was a side quest.
Okay, perfect.
Gregariousness, that's what you rated average in. This is where your introversion comes in. So gregariousness is your tendency to enjoy the company of other people and to seek out social interactions. And you are just kind of average on that. Like you're not so extroverted that you're seeking out social interaction. Versus me, my gregariousness was high. So I definitely am like a full extrovert. I love being around people. I seek out social interactions. So that makes sense that we're kind of you're average and I'm high in that area. So that explains your little more introversion. You're balanced. You're good. It's good. You're balanced on that introversion extroversion. So
Yeah.
all right, next one. Go ahead.
So I was just saying
Next section
that
for
one I
you.
agreed with because the extroversion I said I feel like I am more of an ambivert than anything else because I do need my own downtime,
Mm-hmm.
but I do enjoy people in the right
Yeah.
situations. I'm actually really happy that, that I got average in agreeableness because I was worried it was going to be low,
Uh huh.
but also Let's see, what are the sections for agreeableness? So trust. Oh, I know what happened here. I know what happened here. Trust, straightforwardness, altruism, compliance, modesty, and tender-mindedness. Those are the subsections for agreeableness. I got high in trust, modesty, and tender-mindedness, but I got really low. I got very low in straightforwardness, and I got low in compliance.
I love that. So that straightforwardness speaks to your fawning response, right?
100%. I was like, yeah. And I have been a people pleaser like my whole life. So there were lots of situations where if you push me to the point where I then have to become assertive, right? I have to figure out a way to deliver this message, which probably is this bullying question I answered earlier. It's like, do you bully them into doing what you want? No, but I feel like in my life, I've tried to be a gentle communicator in a way where I will downplay my own experience to try to connect with the other person.
Right.
I also have a tendency to allow someone else's actions. Like I will empathize with the person that has offended me and be like, oh, I probably deserve that, or they were having a whatever day or whatever. And so then I have to talk to them in a way to like build them back up in a way. So I feel like definitely my issue with straightforwardness is that I'm not going to be like, dude, you pissed me out. Like with you, I can be more straightforward. But we've also had this conversation where I'm not going to just...
I was literally just going to say that. We actually just had that conversation when I went to visit you, I think, actually, where I said, hey, I maybe can sense sometimes when I feel like maybe there's something you're thinking or something you're still not sure how you feel about it. And I can sense that, but you don't necessarily communicate it. But some of it is like it doesn't have anything to do with me. It just might be something that you're thinking about on your own or whatever.
I'm very mindful with my responses, and I try to consider, is this something for them or is this something to make myself feel better? Like I want to make sure that I'm not
it's about
being
me.
Like, have you been around people that are just like verbal diarrhea of shit and you're like, oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable, or why are they like, why do they feel the need to voice this? Those like too straightforward, I think is really bad. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I want to be in a relationship, whatever kind it is, friendship, romantic partner, I don't care. I want to be in a relationship where we are considering the other person in our communication and not just thinking about getting all of the hateful words that we have in us out of us. And so I think that I have been practicing that so much that it actually works against me in some cases. And I feel like now I have to re-explain it and re-explain it and re-explain it because I want to make sure that the words I'm using are landing softly. So I definitely feel like that is something I struggle with, and I'm trying to get better.
I think it takes practice because I agree with you. Too much straightforwardness, you're just going to end up being like a very brash kind of too much. You know, it's too pointed, it's too hurtful, it cuts too deep. There's wisdom that has to be applied anytime we're being straightforward. Like how much of it is me, how much of it is this person. Like so I think you're wise in that, you know, being mindful of it for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Next category.
And then what was next category?
Neuroticism. I was actually really proud of myself in this category because I think it's a very good reflection of where I'm at. I think if I had taken this maybe 5 years ago, I would have scored high or very high in neuroticism, just because of my general anxieties. Maybe I was impulsive then. Maybe I've learned to be less impulsive with my spreadsheet management.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Anyway, I feel like my depression and anxiety for sure would have been higher. My self-consciousness as well. But I was average in those areas, which I thought was really good. And then vulnerability, I scored low. And anger and hostility, I scored high, which made me laugh because I was like, for sure. So mad all the time.
So actually, I think that we have a good example of your angry hostility. This man in the pug.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
That's why I was like, this is for sure a great example of this. Like, why am I getting so pissed off at this man? That's clearly an idiot.
Right. Yeah.
I need to work on it.
It definitely is just tends to be that part of your personality where you just get annoyed real quickly, right? You're just like, what the fuck? Why are you asking?
I recovered really fast from it and actually forgot about it until this morning. We were having breakfast and my stepdaughter was like, did you tell my dad about that guy in the car? And I was like, oh my God. I totally forgot about that. Now I'm mad again. I gotta tell April too.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh, it's crazy.
Where do you think the angry hostility comes from? Like,
so something that I've been. So I think I would need to see exactly what questions trigger this answer, because I think that the deeper piece of this is, what are they categorizing angry hostility as? I know I have issues with resentment, and a lot of that comes from my very low straightforwardness.
Yeah, no, that's yes. Cycle. So these are the connections.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect.
So these are exactly the connections that we want to make when we're looking at the big five. So if a therapist might have you take the big five, and they want to see those connections, right? Oh, I have my angry hostility is high because I'm not very straightforward, and then I get frustrated that people can't read my mind, or people aren't doing what I want them to do, or X, Y, and Z. So if we want to correct the angry hostility, we got to bring up the straightforwardness, right? Or maybe I'm so agreeable that all of my neuroticism is high, right? I'm high in everything: anxiety, depression, angry hostility, because I agree to everything. I let people walk all over me, things like that. So pairing those traits together can really help you know what you want to improve, what you want to work on. And I think that's really helpful, for kind of looking for those growth edges. So I pulled up some of the questions for neuroticism.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So you can hear what some of them were. There were things like, I get irritated easily. I have frequent mood swings. I get upset easily. I often feel blue. I am relaxed most of the time.
So that first one, I get angry easily, I for sure put strongly agree, just because of that exact example we just said. And it's always like the dumbest thing that pisses me off. Like a legitimate thing that would piss a normal person off, I'm like, whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
It's like, why am I so mad about this?
Why am I so angry? Yeah. I really think you nailed it, though. It is, I think it probably is that straightforwardness. Like, peace.
No, it's
I think that's a good call out.
What it is. I'm like, and now I have all this resentment because I make myself small to make sure the other person feels better in a situation where I've been wronged or whatever. And like, I'm just tired of making excuses for people. Yeah. And I think I'm at that phase now where I'm like, I don't care. I'm just going to be mad. I'm just going to be mad now. And I'm going to let that out.
So the interesting thing, though, is that your straightforwardness is very low, but and your angry hostility is high, but also your compliance is low as well. So like overall and agreeableness, like you're pretty high, but in straightforwardness and compliance, you're like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But you're not straightforward to say you're not doing it. So how do you get through non-compliance?
It's great.
Without...
Here's what I do. Let me tell you my practice.
Yeah, give us some
I've been
examples.
trying to teach. I actually learned this in my old jobs. We had to take, it was like TARP training or something, anti-terrorism training. And it's like, hey, if a terrorist comes to you and is like, meet me tomorrow at 5 and bring all of your secrets, like, we're supposed to remain non-committal.
Right.
And I was like, yes, this is something I can apply across the board with my life.
To my life.
And I'm not saying non-committal as in like I'm not in a committed relationship, but it's like maybe I'll think about. I just like to use a lot of times you tell me like, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or if you're being serious, right? I really like to be in that line of like, you get to decide.
Mystery.
You get to decide how to interpret this message. It's not on me anymore. So,
do you ever use like weaponized incompetence? Like,
no, unfortunately, that is one of my, like, I will not. As a matter of fact, if there's something I can do for myself, I will be doing it for myself. It is a practice for me. Here's a great example.
Okay.
My partner is 6'4". So when he's home, I will like be going to get the step stool. And then I'm like, no. We have to make him feel useful. He's got to feel like he's like, I need him around. He's a man.
He can rescue. Yeah, he's going to rescue you.
And I'm like, oh, did you see that thing way up there? Can you get that for me? Oh my God, you're so strong. I love you.
You're so tall.
Look at you drilling with that up there. I love it.
Yeah.
Which is also a negative score on my straightforwardness. Because what I really want to say is you're lucky that I'm making you feel useful right now. Because I for sure could do that myself. Just trying to figure out how to score points with you. So you won't leave me.
It's that connectedness part. That connectedness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about now your highest category. Very high. Score of 70. Her other scores hovered around 50. So this conscientiousness is like pretty high.
What's like the highest you can get on that? Like 100? Is 100 the maximum?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So, tell us about it. Tell us about your conscientiousness. What were your scores?
I have been asking for like a minor brain injury or a lobotomy kit for a while because I feel like if I'm just not aware, like if I could lose self-awareness and not give a shit more, my life would be so much better. I'm just like, it's not that hard, right? So,
okay.
The subcategories for conscientiousness are competence, order, dutifulness, achievement striving, self-discipline, and deliberation. I was very high in competence, self-discipline, and deliberation. And then I was high in order, dutifulness, and achievement striving. I think some of that is just like I'm type A. I also need order in my life for my mental health. Like I said, I like that schedule. I prefer a routine. There's actually a lot of, I was thinking about this today actually while I was driving about how many years of my life I spent questioning my own intelligence and questioning my own abilities just based off of, you know, the lies that we're told that we repeat to ourselves. And I worked through a lot of that in therapy, and it just made me realize like how many people in my life were speaking their truth to me instead of my truth. Like they maybe aren't high on achievement striving, so therefore they put that onto me as well. Like, well, that's not going to work for you. We're not a family that does that. Like no one in our family's gone to college before. Like those kind of things that kind of just put you down.
Yeah.
But I've also, as a people pleaser, had to have self-discipline. Like I have to make sure I'm the one holding everything together for everyone. I have to make sure that I'm on and that everyone around me has everything that they need. So I think some of this is still just learned survival patterns that have worked very well for me in my like work career. So I'm not mad about it, but there are times I was like, I wish I could stand in the middle of an aisle in a grocery store and not feel severe anxiety knowing that somebody's going to need to get around me and I'm holding them up. Like that is the kind of thing where I'm just like, my partner. So Graham did the Bisbee 1000 last weekend. And I was at the event and I was just watching. I was like, I love being in that type of event where there's no one, there's not like us versus them. It's everyone for themselves kind of thing, right? And so everyone is just out there doing their personal best or just trying to make it to the finish line. It's such a cool vibe. And I loved being in the crowd and just seeing all the competitors from like 5 years old to 100 years old competing in that. And I was just like, oh my God, like I'm getting teared up. Like this is just so inspiring to me. There were times where I was literally just laughing out loud. I'm standing there by myself because I'm a solo spectator. Yeah. But I was just like watching like a grandma running by me with a tutu. And I'm like, oh, she's so cute. And then a little kid thought he was at the finish line, but it wasn't. But he was like running through with his hands up like, and then they're like, no, you gotta keep going. And I was like, oh no, poor little guy. It's okay. You're going to do good, right? Like just try to encourage these people. Yeah. And then what was that called? My anger hostility would be immediately triggered because somebody would be crossing the street in front of the grandma. And so she's like having to run around these spectators that are literally oblivious. Like they are not even recognizing what they're doing. They're like, oh, hey. And then they're like walking across the street
the road.
Like this fast. Not looking at the racers that are literally like, zoom, zoom, zoom. They're just like, oh my God, man. I haven't seen you in forever. And I want to yell like, get the fuck out of the road. Yeah. The announcer
but your straightforwardness is...
Yeah, so I didn't do it. That's why I'm so mad. I literally said out loud to the man standing next to me, I got to move somewhere else. I can't deal with this. This is too stressful. Because the announcer is like yelling, spectators, get out of the road. Get out of the road. And then I want to be like, I want to bring my own megaphone and be like, get the fuck out of the road, lady with the butterfly shirt on. Nobody gives a shit about the burrito. Get out of the street. So I was like, oh my God, how do these people not recognize what they're doing? And then I was like,
low conscientiousness.
I don't know. I gotta quit wearing my bike helmet. Yeah.
So the kind of the cool thing is that you're right. We know that high conscientiousness buffers against neuroticism. So that is a known kind of correlation there. So that's likely why you probably developed a lot of those traits, was to help with management of anxiety, depression, self-esteem, vulnerability, things like that. And so I guess great news, your neuroticism was average, so it worked, right?
I'm also really curious the difference between the questions for compliance and the questions for dutifulness. I'm really curious what the questions were for those.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull them up
later.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last group for me, and then we got to talk about yours.
Yeah. I was going to say there's a couple factors that are associated with success on the Big Five. So the factors most associated with success in life are, number one, conscientiousness. because you have to be achievement striving. You have to be dutiful. You have to be able to show up when you don't want to show up, to complete the task, to do it well, to care about how it turns out. So obviously the conscientiousness is really important for achievement goals and doing well in life, having healthy relationships, doing good at your job. And then it's conscientiousness paired with extraversion, actually. So people who are low in extraversion, they do tend to struggle a little bit more in terms of like getting promotions, having friends, especially in our Western culture where community isn't built in. You really have to go out of your way here, in the US to make friends and to get promoted. You got to make yourself seen, make yourself known, like squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing. So our introverts kind of tend to struggle a little bit more when it comes to, being able to have success in the more conventional ways. And then the other ones are openness and low neuroticism. So if you're high openness, you're going to be open to try new things. You're going to be flexible. You're usually going to be okay with failure a little bit more, with that low neuroticism as well. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. Which ones
I love that.
correlated with success? So last one, go ahead, and then we'll
sounds
go
like
through
I'm
mine
average success. I'm set up for average success. Okay, got it. Based off of that. Okay, so my second highest category. So yeah, I had average in all of them, very high in conscientiousness, and then I was high in openness. The subcategories of that are fantasy, aesthetics, feeling, actions, ideas, and values. I feel like this one had a lot to do with I enjoy poetry. I like being creative. I feel like those were some of the things that were in this category as far as the questions.
Yes.
I did not know the subcategories when I was taking the tests. Otherwise, I probably could have been tracking those a little bit better.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be tracking the categories. Type A.
Oh, you know what I just noticed? Okay. You remember this tattoo that I got? Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
It's my chameleon bones because I'm supposed to be unmasking and revealing my straightforwardness more. I gotta remind it. Yes. I gotta remember to start doing that.
You gotta remind yourself. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I got very high in value. I was high in fantasy, actions, and ideas. I was average in aesthetics and feelings. Again, curious to see what the questions are for aesthetics.
So I pulled up some of the fantasy questions. Fantasy questions were: I have a vivid imagination. I have an active imagination. I love to daydream. I'm full of ideas. I get excited by new ideas.
I counted intrusive thoughts as fantasy, so that's why I scored high there.
Yeah. Let's see what aesthetics. Some examples of the aesthetics questions were. Do you feel that you're someone who has high appreciation for art, culture, literature? Do you believe in the importance of art? Do you feel that you're someone who has a lot of creativity? Do you feel that you are someone who has interest in abstract ideas? So that's what the aesthetics.
Perfect. I am definitely average in that because there are some forms of art that I prefer over others. And I think in a lot of these, I had a really hard time clicking the button on very low or very, I don't remember what they were. It was like agree, disagree strongly, or whatever they were, right? The top and the bottom, I have a very hard time being all in on very many things. So it was that I felt
I think that demonstrates that you're very evenly keeled, right? You're not having these, aside from the conscientiousness, there's not these big peaks and valleys in your personality. You're pretty evenly developed across a lot of categories. Unlike mine, which we can go over.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to attack you now. I mean, to discuss you.
Yeah, exactly. So mine, I'll go over them, the main categories, and then I'll kind of just pull them in comparison to yours, since we just went over yours, so we can kind of see where we both sit. So I was also average in neuroticism, same as you. My anxiety was my highest category in the neuroticism category. So that tracks. I'm just naturally a pretty anxious person. So I constantly have this planning, preparing for future events that likely will never happen. It's not fun. So very high in anxiety. Angry hostility was very low. So even though when I do get irritated or I do get angry, I don't struggle with straightforwardness. I will say I'm being annoyed or whatever, but for the most part, I'm not like easily angered by things like, people crossing the street or whatever. Like it'll annoy me, but not in an extreme way. So I got low in that. Depression was average, and then the other categories, self-consciousness was low, impulsiveness was low, vulnerability was low, and I agree with all those. I don't really struggle with being self-conscious or impulsive or anything like that. So overall, my neuroticism was average. I'm just an anxious person. That was my highest category. And then my extraversion was high. So I do seek out social interaction. I like being with people. I like talking to people. My warmth was very high. My assertiveness was very high. That's where that straightforwardness comes in as well. Like I don't struggle with conflict. I don't have a problem telling people how I feel, what bothers me. I don't shy away from any of that kind of stuff. Activity high, excitement seeking high, positive emotions very high. So in general, I just do enjoy joy. So I love whimsy. I'm constantly trying to just have fun and experience new things and be silly. I don't know when I was in Arizona visiting you, Misty posted a picture of me running down a sidewalk that I promptly took a nap after not long. But anything that's going to get me like having adventure and excitement, that is probably one of my favorite things about getting to travel with Misty is she's also very high in openness. So she's like down for any kind of adventure. I think we balance each other in the excitement seeking, where yours is a little bit lower, and your impulsivity probably is a little bit lower. Both of us are average, but I'm probably more likely to be like, let's just go, let's just do this, let's run over here, let's go do that, and then we both go and we have fun, right? So that part, I'm not surprised by. I think we have fun with that. And sometimes if I do want to do something, your conscientiousness can kick in and be like, I don't think that's a good idea, right? Like, we're not going to do that. Which
that I would say, or we could do this other thing since I'm
correct.
straightforwardness.
Yes, and that's usually
that's a terrible idea.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I might, over the course of our friendship, right, I might recommend something, and then that is exactly how you frame it. Or we can go over here and do this, and then I'm like, yay, sure, yeah, let's do that, right? So you do a good job of keeping us safe, and that's really important because I rate really high in openness, which is a category that basically means if I am not grounded to something, I easily can diffuse myself into anything. Like there really are no boundaries for me. I don't rate high in disgust. Like I am open to try literally anything. And so the problem with that comes when you don't have any kind of grounding. So if you had two really, really, really very high openness people with no conscientiousness, like they're gonna get in trouble. They're for sure probably gonna get into things that they are probably not going to be beneficial for them. So I do have the benefit of also rating average, but high in a lot of the categories in conscientiousness. So my openness paired with my conscientiousness actually is a lot of ways what makes me a really
paired
good
with
psychologist. Paired with my anxiety, correct. My anxiety
keeps you alive.
For sure. keeps me alive. Yeah. But I knew early on my openness was a problem. When I was very, very young, I a lot of times would get scolded for it or get in trouble. Why are you asking so many questions? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to wear that? Why do you want to listen to that? Why do you want to, just feeling very, like not seen or mirrored by anybody around me with the same level of openness. Like my openness tended to make other people afraid, because it would shift the ground underneath them of what they thought was true, what they thought was real. So this actually led me, obviously, to question my faith at certain points in my life, and that would get shut down, or question my sexuality, or question the institution of like society at large. Like, do I want to be an anarchist, right? Like it just could go anywhere. It literally, but the questions are never ending. So that actually makes you a really good therapist, because your job is to be non-judgmental, to hear about other people's experiences in a non-judgmental way. So I'm rarely surprised when people tell me anything in the therapy room. If anything, I really am curious about it. Like my openness really is like, oh, tell me more. I had never considered that, right?
This is making me understand you much better. I hadn't considered that possibility.
Exactly. So in my conscientiousness, my competence was high, my dutifulness was high. One of my core values is like loyalty and devotion. And so that really is the anchor for my life. So when my openness gets like too crazy, too chaotic, like my core value really is loyalty and devotion. So that dutifulness makes sense. If I commit to something, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Like I take that very, very, very seriously. And sometimes that creates problems, because I do not have relationships with people who don't do what they say they're going to do. I don't like flaky people. I really have a low level of tolerance for like
my
people not doing.
Non-committalness, though, like I feel like.
Tell me what you feel like.
Well, here's the thing. I think my non-committal, maybe later, kind of attitude. We'll see how it goes. Like that. I think we'll see how it goes is my default. That's as straightforward as I get. Just like we're gonna.
And it does like that does like it used to. I think I'm used to that part of you now. Like I'm used to you communicating that, but that would drive me crazy. Like there definitely were like,
no, you literally. I remember sitting on the bed at your house, and you were like, "Ah!" You made that sound. You literally were like, "Oh, would you just tell me what you want to do?" I don't actually have a preference at this. I'm like literally just actually being straightforward with, I don't care what we eat. Like
in this moment, I am straightforward. Yeah. So sometimes it's for sure. I'm just like, okay, can we just, so dutifulness, yes, like definitely very high. Achievement striving, very high. I've always been like very achievement. I want to like try to do as many things as I can. I want to try to accomplish as many things as I can in this life. I've always been that way. Like if I see something, I'm like, oh, I could probably do that. So that's always been definitely part of my personality. Self-discipline is average, not surprised by that, because my order is also very low. Also not surprised by that in the least.
There was a time, hold on, for the listener, there was a time where every day I would talk to April, she would have her phone battery on like 8%. And I'm like, where the hell? I took my phone charger to work yesterday. And I'm like, how the fuck do you not have, like, you can get a 10 pack of these. Like, this is so easy to solve. And I actually mailed you phone chargers and the plugs. So I was like, and a battery. I actually also ordered you a battery pack for your phone. So I'm like, this bee is about to be broke down somewhere with nobody to communicate. Like her biggest fear is getting kidnapped or dying, and literally no one's gonna find her because her fucking battery is dead because she can't remember where her charging cable is. I was like, oh my god.
So my lack of order, like, definitely
triggers my anger hostility.
Triggers the anger hostility. So that's the cool part about this, is that we grow closer to average, closer to the middle ground, when we are willing to pair ourselves with people whose strengths, right, are kind of what our weaknesses are. So in my friendship with you, right, I have learned some skills and some practices just by observing what you do and how you do it, and being able to incorporate that into my own sense of self, right? So, hey, how my phone is pretty much charged all the time now.
All the time. It's
yeah.
And she bought a new phone. So all the chargers I bought her don't work anymore. So she had to actually handle that for herself.
I also,
Did John buy you a pack of charging cables?
He did buy a bunch of charging cables. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I did, it's not intuitive to me, a lot of the because of my ADHD, like, order.
That your car tell them about the time it finally dawned on you that your car, you had to have your phone for your car to operate while we were buying you a new phone, because I was like, no, fuck this, we're going to get you a cell phone.
So my phone was dying, like, within 20 minutes. It would be like 20, 30 minutes. It would already be like, I don't know, 10% battery, 15% battery. And Misty was visiting. She's like, no, fuck this. We're going to AT&T this week. We're getting a different phone. Like, this is so unsafe. Like, you're driving to Burleson 45 minutes. Like, we're going to the store. And that's exactly what I need, is I need a high conscientious friend to be like, we're going to make space. We're going to go. So I'm like, yes, this is what I need. Let's go. So we go into the store. We're getting the new phone. They're setting up the new phone. And then in the middle of that, I'm literally like, wait, this is my key for my car. Like, because I drive a Tesla. So, and I don't put the card key in my wallet. Like, at that time, I hadn't put the card key in my wallet because I always have my phone. So I'm like, oh, I don't need the card key. So I didn't have the card key. And then I was like, they're going to wipe my phone and take it. And I don't know if this new phone is going to be able to unlock the Tesla now and be able to help me leave. So I think we ended up having to call John, didn't we? Like, we needed to call him to come down.
That was when we were doing his phone. It was because we were like, we need to get John a new phone too.
Yeah, he needed one too. So I don't know.
The Face ID to unlock is what his was. But the app worked. But there was literally a moment when she's like, "Oh my god, if my phone battery died, like, I would be stranded somewhere." And I would be
stranded. Yeah, I would not be able to drive my car. At that point, I put a card key in my wallet. That way, if my phone does die, I'll still be able to leave work. Like, that
makes me feel so much better. I, like, seriously.
Yeah. I know.
There are moments when I'm like, she's not dumb. But this feels really stupid. This feels so stupid.
I know. Yeah. So my sense of order has gotten a lot better. Like, I don't know, over the last 2 years, maybe 2 years ago, Misty and I travel together different places, and finally I got like a travel like bag to put my soap and all my stuff in. It's all organized. I have a little organizer for my pill thing. So, like, slowly but surely, I'm increasing that sense of order. It's getting a little bit better as I age, for sure. But yes, being around people, I tend to surround myself with people who are really good at things that I'm not good at. And that has really helped me to evolve throughout my life. and get better at a lot of these things. I think if I would have taken this test, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, obviously the scores would probably be a lot different than they are now. So the nice thing is that like these scores can change. Like these are not like written in stone. Like if you are willing to sit and do the work and really self-evaluate and like have agency about the way that you're experiencing the world, then you can increase a lot of these things to a level that you want them to be. But it's uncomfortable because these are rooted traits. Your default is always going to be, whatever the trait is. And so if you can create some awareness around the area that you struggle with, then you can start to notice it faster. You can start to correct it. You can start to implement some behavioral things. And then working on the narratives that you have around that thing. A lot of times people struggle with changing a lot of these traits because of the narratives they have around them, and they don't, if I'm not this, then who am I? Right? If I'm not this person who is X, Y, and Z, then people are going to think I'm this. So they worry about like what other people are going to think, or they worry about they're losing their sense of self. So there's all kinds of narratives that go with changing these parts of your personality. People say this all the time about like getting on medication for ADHD. They're like, well, if I take the medication, I'm going to lose my spark. I'm going to lose my spontaneity. Like, so it's about the narrative of being ordered doesn't mean losing your autonomy. It doesn't mean you can't still be spontaneous. It means you're going to have a lot less stress in your life when you're not looking around for a charger or for whatever. And then the agreeableness, I rated high, very high in agreeableness. So trust, the section of trust just basically means you believe in the general goodness of people, of humans. I would hope that's high, especially for me, somebody who's a psychologist working to improve, like help people manage the human condition. I do have a lot of hope that people can, I do have a lot of hope that people can recover and redeem. It's rare when I feel like somebody's like irredeemable. Straightforwardness, average. Straightforwardness is pretty important when you're a therapist, because part of my job is to be straightforward with people. It is to say, when you talk to me, it feels very hostile. I feel like I can't be honest with you, and I'm sure other people in your life have had that experience. Have they told you about that? Right? So there's like, you have to create some conflict in the therapy session in order to help the person navigate being confronted, dealing with their feelings of disappointment. How does their ego respond to somebody calling them out? Right? This is a lot of what people have to work through when they're in therapy, is being able to have capacity for that. So, and straightforwardness comes in a lot of times too, when people want to like show up late, or they don't want to pay the late fee, or they want you to go past your time. You have to say, sorry, I can't adjust the appointment. Sorry, you still are going to have to pay the late fee. Sorry, this is what you signed, the paperwork that you signed. And that's really difficult. I had a hard time with that at the beginning. So my straightforwardness has probably increased a little bit since becoming a therapist, because it was required for the job. Altruism is very high. I just generally, I love helping people, caring for people, making people feel loved and seen, and all of those kind of things.
See, I feel like I scored lower in that because it was asking about something like, I often donate to charity, and I'm like, I would love to do that. I would love to have enough money to where I could just be donating all day, like a lot of these. So I had to go with like, do I want to do that? Yes. Am I doing it? Right? Because I really feel like people do what's important to them. Like you can see what somebody's priorities are just by watching them for a day. Like,
I'm actually would be curious to see how you answer it. So I pulled up some of the altruism questions.
Okay.
I feel others emotions.
Yes.
I take time out.
High on that.
I take time out for others. I feel concern for others. I love to help others. I make people feel at ease. I'm not interested in other people's problems. I have a soft heart. I sympathize with others' feelings. So those were some of the examples of some of those questions.
Yeah, see,
For
I
all.
feel like I would have, because again, I don't feel comfortable putting very high on a lot of them. I probably would have went the next one down, but
You
that probably
probably
is what
went
it
to
landed me.
agree.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
agree. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
because
like, yeah.
I definitely don't have a problem putting the highest mark. I'm like, absolutely, I do. Strongly agree, right?
Yeah, I want to I like to try to see again, we do what we believe in a lot of cases,
Mm-hmm.
and so I just wanted to make sure my answer was reflecting I do have a deep desire for that, but I'm not doing it. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
living practice for
Yeah,
me, so I can't be all in
yeah.
on that.
I honestly wonder if your straightforwardness comes in through your self-evaluation. Like, you're willing to say you're not good at something, but it's hard for you to be straightforward to yourself when you are good at something, or
Yeah,
when
that's
something
my
is.
lies of just. Yeah, while you were just now talking, I was wondering how the straightforwardness compared to the assertiveness
Mm-hmm.
works out, because I am curious about that, because I am high in assertiveness but very low in straightforwardness, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I was just I am very curious about the making of. Sorry, I dropped my thingy.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about some of the questions for that.
So the assertiveness is like your willingness to like get something done, right? Like to
Oh yeah, yeah.
assert, like, and you rate high in conscientiousness and dutifulness, so it's your ability to take action. You're not a passive agent in your own world. You're not just kind
Yeah,
of,
I will
you
volunteer
know,
for sure if I know I can just do the task at work. I'm like, give it to
correct.
me, because I'm not I'm not waiting for
Yeah.
someone else
Yeah.
to do it.
So yeah, so that tracks. Like your high assertive is like you're willing to take charge, you're willing to take action, like you have agency about your life. You're like, you'll get it done, you'll get shit done, and so that's why you would rate high in that. And then the straightforwardness is like saying it, like willing to say, you don't know what you're doing, so I'm gonna do this.
Oh,
Right, that's
just thinking of saying that is giving me a lot of stress. How would I
yeah.
say that
So
sentence? I would say, do you need help working on this project? I see that you're struggling a little bit in this area. Do you want me to show you a better way of
yeah,
doing that? And then I would sit down at their desk and just do it for them.
just do it. Just do the
Or
whole thing.
listen, here's a really good example. I had a friend who was going through a divorce, and she was like, I'm trying to come up with a child custody schedule. And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know if I want to do this, or if I want to do this, or I want to do this. So I literally made her 4 different schedules and just sent them to her. I was like, boop,
Oh wow,
here's some
that's
examples, some
a lot
perfectly
of
good
work.
ones that you could do. It took me 2 minutes. It was faster for me to just make them
Oh
for her than to listen to the indecisiveness.
yeah,
So
that
I was
makes
like,
sense.
okay, let me just show you real
Yeah.
quick.
So the people with low straightforwardness tend to value like relational harmony. Like they don't want to create conflict. And
Yeah.
so they will do what they can to create, not to avoid the conflict as it relates to their communication. The straight people who rate high in the straightforwardness, like they're not trying to avoid conflict, so they are like, I am going to tell the truth even if it's uncomfortable.
But here's the thing. Straightforwardness to
Mm-hmm.
me, okay, what's the definition according to this test? Because
Let's see if we can pour it. I don't know if there's
bluntness
a.
and truth telling are not the same thing. Like they're not the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. And I think that
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of times where I would withhold truth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm doing that now. I think that I am just more conscientious perceived by the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think you're right. Like, so in a healthy expression, did it stop recording? Oh, okay. It says it's still recording on my end. Yeah. Okay.
Um, okay, so I'll edit that part out. I
Okay.
am curious to see the difference between like what the test is describing as straightforwardness, because I think that I do
Yeah.
not equate straightforwardness and truth telling as being different things, I guess.
Yeah. So I think what we maybe can think about it in terms of maybe a healthy straightforwardness and an unhealthy straightforwardness, right? So I
Ew, I
think the
don't
way
like
that like the
that.
well, no, here's let me finish saying. So you're right that straightforwardness isn't about withholding the truth, but an unhealthy person who rates low in straightforwardness might withhold the truth to avoid conflict, right? So maybe there was a time in your life when you just would withhold the truth to avoid conflict. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out
I'm
there.
yeah, no, I
But
am 100% conflict avoidant.
yeah, right. So that's basically what it is. But there's a healthy version of conflict avoidance, which is I would prefer the message to be softer in order to preserve harmony in this relationship. I want to protect the feelings of the people I love and care about, and that is healthy. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And then there's also an unhealthy version of um, straightforwardness. Like, don't be a dick. Like, you can tell the truth and be honest without being a dick, right? Like, I would say an unhealthy version of straightforwardness is somebody who's just like a bull in a china shop and isn't considering whether or not this is kind, whether it's helpful, whether it's productive, whether it's necessary. Like, all truths don't need to be communicated if it's not kind, helpful, necessary, productive. Sometimes something can be the truth and you just can keep it to yourself. And we teach that to kids all the time. So there's a healthy version of both of them, and I think there's those traits can be expressed in unhealthy ways if the person is developmentally immature, right, or lacking emotional intelligence or whatever that might be. So hopefully that maybe helps break down how to think about it a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
don't really
better.
like the term unhealthy, but I'm gonna just assume.
There might be a better word. Can you think of a better word to describe that?
No, I think it's a fine word. I just don't like the way
Okay.
it feels. Like when it landed on me, I
Oh.
was like, "Ew, I don't want to be unhealthy."
There's no
Just feels gross.
unhealthy
No, I
there's no
know.
unhealthy version of it, right? It just sounds really exhausting to me. For me, it just feels like it would be exhausting to have to be like, if I had to think through very carefully anytime I wanted to be honest, I think it would just feel like a cognitive load I wouldn't want to carry. Like, I want to be in relationships where I can like be not worry about it, but that's because that's my
Can you
personality.
can you pull up some of the questions that link to straightforwardness?
Yeah, let's pull some up. Um, let's see here. All right. I am direct and truthful with others. I use simple, honest tactics to get what I want. I feel that it's best to be honest in all circumstances. I am good at using flattery to get what I want. So those were measures in high straightforwardness, the ones I just read. The measures in that measure low in straightforwardness are I'm good at using flattery to get what I want. I would use cunning or deception to get ahead. Sometimes I manipulate people into doing what I want them to do.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's my fawn. That's my fawning.
Yeah, it's the fun response. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For
And
sure.
there's like mine's probably like a fight or flee. So It depends on the day. So
Definitely yours is a fight. You're like
yeah.
toe to
Yeah.
toe.
Exactly. I will try.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I was really surprised that you scored low in anger and hostility.
Yeah.
That was one of your answers. I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Did we pull up the angry hostility questions? Some of the angry hostility? Okay, let's see what they were. Some of the angry hostility questions. I am known as a hot-blooded or quick-tempered. I get irritated easily. I'm often disgusted with people I have to deal with. I often find myself disagreeing with people. I get angry over things that other people consider minor. When people are especially nice, I wonder what they want. Some of my friends think that I am hot-headed. So, pretty much, I think on most of these, I put disagree. I don't think I agreed to any of them.
Huh. All right.
Well, how do you think how would you rate me? Because this is interesting. How would you rate me?
Yeah, no. So,
on these?
I think in my experiences with you over the years,
I
think that you are easily annoyed. And that you vocalize that. Like, you're very vocal when something's annoying you. I'm not going to do this. This is fucking stupid. Like, there's a lot of times where I feel like you are just like me, easily annoyed. Like, I would have put us on the same scale as, like, the same shit annoys you that annoys me.
Yeah, for sure. We do have a lot of similar annoyances.
Yes. One of the things, and we talked about this recently too, is that some of this is just from old bull in a china shop, April, where I do feel like I have to lower my straightforwardness to be able to communicate with you so that you're not getting upset, because I've had experiences with you in the past where you are a little bit more like hot-headed or that kind of thing. So you were very vocal with like, no, fuck this. And so I think some of that is definitely your personal growth for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. I think my angry hostility would have been a lot higher, 8 to 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. I definitely don't have that same level of energy at this point in my life to get upset.
Is it about nihilism? You're just like, it doesn't matter anyway.
It might be. Maybe it's just depression. Maybe my depression should have been higher.
My fight is gone because I don't care anymore.
All the fight is gone. No, I think you're right though. I think it definitely was a lot higher throughout my life. I think part of the reason it was a lot higher in my life is a feeling of wanting to maintain autonomy. Anytime I felt like my sense of autonomy was threatened, or if I felt like I was being disrespected or being rejected, or like belonging was being removed from me, then I would become upset about it, right? I would be like aggressive about it. So I think I also wasn't a good communicator either. So I had an expectation that people would know what to do and know how to behave, or behave in ways that I would expect them to behave without my actually communicating that to them. And then I would get angry when they didn't, right? Or frustrated when they didn't. So increasing my straightforwardness, I think that probably would have been a little bit lower too. I think increasing my straightforwardness led the angry hostility to come down. I would say a lot of that had to do with my training in therapy and psychotherapy.
I would agree with that.
Prior to learning how to be, a therapist, psychologist, prior to my own personal therapy, I think those would have been a lot lower. Or hostility would have been higher, straightforwardness would have been lower.
I'm wondering now if I am just like triggering you all the time when we hang out. I feel like
For
you're
sure.
always real mad. No.
No, I think that
shut up.
100%. I think that this relationship is actually how I manage. It's actually my testing ground for
Like, let me
dealing.
see if my therapy has been working. I gotta go hang out with Misty.
That's how I test it.
That's smart. You know what? I'm happy to help, actually.
No, I think there's also something to be said about a secure attachment. And we see this like with children all the time. Like the kids, the parent that the kids are the most mean to, or the most are able to get the most upset with, throw a fit with, be the most honest with, like that's the person they feel safest just like dropping the mask and dropping the managing your emotions. Like it's so much effort to manage your emotions, and I am having to manage myself all day long with other people, like being a container and holding my own feelings and experiences to make space for another person so that they can feel mirrored and seen and cared for. And unfortunately, like by the time I get to you, I don't have a filter anymore, right? Like I don't have it just, I'm just in fully vulnerable, like fully who I am. Like there's no masking or anything like that. And it's because I know I can be that with you. I know you're not gonna like not be my friend if I'm complaining or I'm tired or I don't have the energy or whatever. But then, unfortunately, you probably get the worst version of me, right? Because
listen, I only want that version of you. I think we've said that before. Like, I don't want performative April. I love that I get to see all of that and that you trust me with that. So,
yeah, it's a lot though. I mean, I'm sorry. You're stuck with it though.
Same to you. Because I like reading my own results. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucking exhausting. No wonder. Like, I only have a few friends because I'm just so exhausting. I don't know who else could deal with me.
So I guess a good way to like finish this podcast is one of the, I guess the most beautiful thing about knowing your traits, knowing your growth edges, knowing places where you can expand, also celebrating the things that you're good at, is you can also see like how your relationships in your life make you better. Like my relationship with you makes me better. My relationship with people who aren't like me improve the parts of me that need to be improved. So like I am kind of all over the place, high openness. I need somebody to ground me. Like I need somebody who's going to like help me like get out of my head all the time and like bring me back to reality and be like, it's actually not that serious, or it's actually going to be okay, right? Like we actually don't have to worry about that. And I think in the same turn, like I get to be somebody that brings you out of that conscientiousness sometimes, right? Like we don't have to do X, Y, and Z. Like we can just run and go have fun or whatever it might be. So we can balance each other. Those energies balance each other. And so it's makes you grateful for the people who aren't like you, because it's only through those relationships that we grow and we become more whole humans. Like, and that's beautiful. So
yeah.
Guess we'll end it there.
All right. That sounds like the best place to end it.
All right. Well, high five.
Right. Well, I'll see you next time. Oh, we're doing these every other week, guys, in case you didn't notice. So, we need to have weekends where we have some fun time too. So
we do.
We're gonna keep recording, but every other week, or subject to change again. We're winging it. So
we're winging it. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, and thanks for being my bestie.
Thanks for being my bestie. Okay, love you.
Right.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Stop recording. Okay, I hope all of that went in there.